The Aussies are famous for many things, including uncommon courage. They became the first nation to implement a social media ban for teenagers under 16 recently. Political will, buoyed by strong public support, led to the bill's passage, and subsequently 10 of the biggest apps in the world, including TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Reddit, and Facebook, all complied, barring everyone 16 and under from their accounts and from setting up new accounts. Critically, the ban puts the responsibility and accountability on the social media companies, with a penalty of up to $33 million if found to be in breach. They're required to have multiple layers of identity verification, including but not limited to facial recognition. Now, this all came about, of course, through tragedies of damaged, even ruined lives of young people stemming from social media addiction and overuse, because so many of these platforms have such addictive algorithms. The need for this legislation is hardly a mystery. We as a society have somehow come to accept that our most prized possessions, our children, are allowed on platforms proven to cause them harm. Think about it. Why would we need these safety measures if social media was safe for our kids? We know the horrors of online bullying. We know how pedophiles use these platforms to target, groom, and exploit children. We know these platforms intentionally manipulate attention, cultivate addictive behaviors, and curate content that's a noxious brew of misinformation, venom, and unrealistic portrayals of reality. The consequences include a global loneliness epidemic among teens, a generation of young people that lack basic interpersonal skills, a spike in polarization often fueled by conspiracy theories and hate. The suicide rate among children, it has skyrocketed, fueled in no small part because of this online poison. We all know this, but in America, because of political cowardice, capitulation to big tech, and parental cop-outs, we look at Australia and we can't even conceive of that bravery here. In the past year, school districts in the States have begun making classrooms cell phone free. Good for them. After the original hue and cry, not just by the kids, but amazingly by some idiotic parents, universally every stakeholder agrees it's been an unqualified success. Bullying's down, attentiveness is up, and students are amazingly talking to each other instead of staring at their phones. But that forward thinking is countered by a retreat in Washington, where Congress, in large part because of intense lobbying efforts, huge political contributions, and a current president who actually encourages no guardrails when it comes to inaccurate and hateful online dialogue. Tech companies, they used to have to abide by the same rules as the rest of us in media did. Accountability over what goes out, whether it be in print or over the airwaves. Now, instead of requirements to monitor dangerous, even hate speech, they've turned their platforms into the Wild West, even pouring the accelerant of algorithms pushing kids to the ugliest corners of the web. So, our government has become part of the problem, and too often parents have all but abdicated their role. The amount of kids that have unfettered access to social media before they're even 10 is mind-boggling to me. The amount of parents who set no barriers to use, who don't monitor how many hours their kids are on their phones or which sites those hours are being wasted on, is stunning. I saw a recent story about detox camps for kids to cure the online addictions, costing in one case more than 10 grand. Now maybe I'm a Neanderthal, but if you bought the phone and you paid the bills, how about you take the phone away at night? Or maybe, God forbid, set some ground rules. Australia, after a mass shooting in the mid-90s, acted swiftly, and they banned assault weapons there. This week, after another epidemic jarred their national consciousness, they acted again. Imagine if our leadership showed that same political spine. Imagine if our public demanded it. I know, Rich. Keep on dreaming.